Okay, Rashaud, I think I got you coming in. I just want to make sure I have invited you. We had to close out so that I could get you back on. I'm waiting on you to join in. John, thank you for joining. I'm going to tag you in as well so that you can help me get him back on because I did do what I was supposed to do. And for those who are just joining us, we are talking about relationships. We're talking about the woes in relationships. Why is this so hard? Why? Okay. Yes. I got you. I did. Coming on. Um why is it so hard? There you go. There you go. Welcome back.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Awesome. Um, so we talked about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, well, now let's talk about true love. That was my last question to you before you went dead. How before your battery went dead. How how do you know, do you have anybody in your life today that are in a relationship that you look at them and say, wow, this is awesome? You were right before. You had
Oh, I was? Okay.
yeah, you're right there. That's perfect.
Okay.
So, um, do you know anybody in your life right now and you can describe their relationship as absolutely the best? And that's what you aspire to have a relationship like when you're ready.
Indeed.
Any role models?
Well, I was going to say that my very good friend, his brothers and his wife, they have a great relationship. Um, they're inseparable. I don't think I've ever seen them actually as once argue with each other. I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the dynamic, but I do know that what they're.
Sorry.
No one has, huh?
I'm sorry. Do you see me sideways or straight?
Well, you was sideways. You sideways now, but you was straight to me before because I got my phone sideways.
Okay, so am I straight now?
Let me see. Let me go look on the computer.
Woo, this stuff. My nephew said I was crooked.
Yeah, you sideways now.
Oh, okay. So
I think you gotta hold yours upright.
got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Carlos. All right. Thank you, John. All right. So you do know of a couple that is like that.
Yep.
And can you describe that couple?
It's hard to. I mean, as far as the description goes, it's hard to say. When you say describe, you mean like how do they interact?
Yes, and how they interact. And Rashaud, can you go back? Yes, perfect. Now we're together. Okay, everybody good? Okay, yes. How do they interact? Have you said you didn't see them quarreling? Um, I'm reading this book that about dating, the rule book, and they talk about when a man is pursuing a woman and he's ultimately pursued her. When he finally gets her, he does not have time to argue. They have already learned to agree to disagree, and they don't have that drama in their lives because he's in awe that they finally connected. He finally has her in his possession, that he's married this woman. So he doesn't want to waste any time on frivolous things. So there is no really bad bickering. It's just learning to agree to disagree.
Well, the thing is I think that's something more that women tend to do as opposed to men. Men don't Men aren't the ones who essentially ever really initiate too many arguments or disagreements. So I think on the flip side of that, in order for a man to find that, there has to be a woman who's bringing that to the table. He's not going to be able to extrapolate that from a woman who doesn't already possess those qualities. So she has to herself already be non-combative in order for him to have that.
Interesting. Okay. So you're saying a woman usually initiates those kind of disagreements in the first place, the majority of the time anyway.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay. That's very interesting. Um, okay. Well, why aren't couples on the same accord? What's up with that? Why aren't they gelling? Why aren't they communicating well? Why aren't they hand in hand where there's a connection, as they say, evenly yoked? What is
I
going
got you.
on where we have these opposites that are together, extreme opposites that are together?
Because people are settling, but they're settling for the wrong things. They're
Wow.
settling for the wrong reasons. It's okay. The whole point is to settle down, right? It's the point. The fact is, you're going to settle. No one's going to meet 100% of your expectations of quote unquote perfect man or woman. So that's unrealistic to expect somebody to meet that 100% in the first place. But what tends to happen is people will put up with deal breakers that are deal breakers for them simply because that person can do things for them outside of what they don't like, right? So a deal breaker for a woman could be he doesn't have to he has to be in his children's life, or if he's not in his children's life, then I can't deal with him. But she may make an exception for a man who's not in his children's life because he has a combative baby mother and he also is able to provide for her family as well. She may shove that under the rug, right? Now, when let's say they have a child and everything goes awry, now when she's in the same predicament, she's looking at him sideways, but she pushed under the rug. That's the same thing he did to his previous baby mother.
Absolutely. So why do you think we're settling?
Because society told us to.
Mm,
Society set the standards for who we should be dating. We didn't set it. Society said it.
hmm. So what
And
do
as soon
you
as we let go of society's perception of what a relationship should be, then we can perfect our own real relationship.
what do you recommend as far as okay, so we ignore what society wants. What should your sister, if you would be telling your sister, what should she be looking for in a man today? And should a man be looking for in a woman today?
It is not cookie cutter dry. The
Yeah.
best thing that I can say is find someone who makes you genuinely happy, not
Mm.
surface happy, not someone that you look good with, not someone that fits your profile, someone who actually genuinely makes you smile when you get home.
Wow. That's deep, Rashaud, because I remember days parked in the front of my house not wanting to come in the house. That's a really good point.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that goes for both men and women.
Definitely, because we'll settle for things because she's a steady source of sex. Men will settle for things because she's a steady source of that. So of course we all have things that we're willing to compromise on for something else.
Oh, so you mean to tell me in this day and age, a man would still be willing to compromise everything else as long as the sex is good?
And honestly, to a certain degree, yeah. It really depends on the male, but the thing is that's essentially the male ego is to pursue and dominate as many women as he can. That's his psyche. The thing is we as humans being sentient beings, we kind of pushed it down to where we need to be responsible with this and have one mate. We push monogamy. That wasn't what that isn't our animalistic instinct, but we pushed it as a society simply because it does fit. It is for a purpose. I don't disagree there, but it's not a natural instinct.
It's not a natural instinct to what?
Be
To just
monogamous.
okay. Wow.
It's not a natural instinct for men. I'll say for men to be monogamous. Um, even even the Bible say be fruitful and sow your seed, you know. But it doesn't say it outside of the context of marriage, of course. But even back then, they definitely had more than one wife, so they were still sowing their seed. You feel
Yes.
me? So
Yes.
the thing is we've changed monogamy based on society's needs. And so now everything's so screwed up because we've had so many different versions of monogamy. Everyone's pulling out what they want to fit them.
Yes. Scripture based too.
Right. Facts.
Yes, absolutely. So, so are you saying that, so what if I got married again? He's gonna always have a need to be with more women than one, and it may always be a risky situation regardless. So
I
women
don't
gotta always up their game 150% to maintain a monogamous relationship, or what?
No, there are men who are genuinely ready for monogamous relationships. The thing
Okay.
is those aren't the alpha males that the women tend to be attracted to. It's the men who have a
Mm.
bunch of women that women are attracted to. They're not attracted to the beta males who want one woman. Nobody wants what nobody else has or nobody else wants. That's the name of the game.
Wow. We're still doing that?
Yeah, it'll never change. It's unfortunately it's part of human nature. I don't think it will ever change.
So a woman is not going to be attracted to a guy who doesn't anybody else want, but if she sees a player, it's more challenging to her to go after that person.
Everybody want to tame the lion,
Wow.
and then when he
But
roar, they mad.
but right. So but we can't tame a lion, can we?
No, at some point, at any given situation, the lion will always revert back to its natural instinct. The thing is, you have to know if you're dealing with a lion or not. If you're dealing with someone that's on the prowl, you have to be ready for whatever that prowl or whatever journey that it leads you on, because that's the type of male you chose to pursue.
Wow.
You just have to be aware of what it is that you're looking for. That's why it goes back to accountability. Because if you're looking for someone who has a certain je ne sais quoi and everybody is attracted to, likes up a room, everybody knows who they are, then you understand that there's a lot of stuff that come with it.
Absolutely. So don't be trying to play the player because you'll be part of the game.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of women go after the player types. That's again, those are the alpha males that generally garner a lot of the women's attention.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's too unfortunate. So, um when you, now this is a personal question.
Okay.
What kind of woman would tie you down?
Um. Well, see, I'm big on communication. As you can tell, I like to talk.
Yes.
Um. What I've realized though is a lot of people don't, women don't possess a lot of communication skills beyond surface level conversation.
Mm.
You can talk about what's on TV, talk about what happened, talk about the weather, talk about what you're doing at work, but we can very rarely go into depth with emotion or just any matter of fact hypothetical situations like what if this was to happen, how would you respond? You can't have those type of conversations with everybody because not everybody's on that level to communicate. So for me, I need to be able to have a real conversation with you. If I can't have a real conversation with you, then it's forever only going to be physical. I won't, and I won't,
Wow.
I won't lie and say that I won't take the physicality because I will. That's
Right.
everything. If you can't talk, that's fine. We can do other things, but just understand that that's all we're going to be doing.
Absolutely. So for these young women, you would recommend to them that they need to get a life outside of reality TV. They need to learn
And
how
take
to
a speech and
communicate.
debate class.
Yes, learn how to speak on other topics and do it authentically, know what they're talking about, and be able to stand ground
Yes,
without cussing and fussing and ready to fight, and have a
facts,
down to earth conversation with another human being. And that
facts.
would
We
be
can't.
very
Yeah.
attractive to you. And see, you didn't mention nothing about the bango body. I'm sorry. You didn't mention nothing about the banging body. You talked about having communication skills.
Well, because like I say, initially, I'm not going to approach anyone that I'm not already physically attracted to in the first place.
Right.
So that's a given. She's essentially she's gonna have to be something that I feel is attractive to me, and then I'll look into those other things.
Got it. Speak DK said, that's why I'm single yet again. Male ego. Lust is what it is. Call it what it is, because I know my worth. I will stay single. I will not settle again. Now, unfortunately, this young lady says, I will stay single. That's another comment that a lot of women are making, but I don't think they're making it because that's where they want to be. They're making it because that's what it is.
Okay.
So if they're accepting that's what it is, they have brought it into fruition. That's what it's going to be. So
Touche.
I pray that women won't do that and say, I'm going to stay single because they pissed me off. I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Because there could be somebody out there just waiting for you in
Facts.
particular. Speak DK, they could be wanting you tomorrow. But you said, I will not settle again. But that next person may not have you settling. He may be just the person that you need in your life. So we got to stop with that affirmation. That's why I'm single. That's why I'm here by myself. That's why I don't want no man, because I believe it's coming to fruition. And many of
Yeah.
us good women are by ourselves, but many of us say that all over and over again. That's why I don't want nobody. That's why I'm
Right.
single. That's why this is that. And men are famous for saying it also.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a woman like Speak DK that's just put it out there? That's why I'm gonna stay
Mhm.
single.
Well, I do want to address her comment because she said, "Let's the male ego and lust. Let's call it. It is what it is. Call it what it is." I
Mm-hmm.
don't disagree. It wholeheartedly 100% is lust. The thing is we can't act like lust doesn't exist. Lust is a very real part of any relationship that you have. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is when women talk about lust, they give it such a bad connotation. But essentially, lust is synonymous with passion, right?
Yes,
And I understand it. I mean, I'm not trying to twist the words and say, hey, me lusting after you is me being passionate for you. But love and no lust leaves you bored.
right. That's so
So
true.
I understand that it's lust, but there has to be lust in order for any relationship to work. Where's that? Where's that fire going to come from if I'm not lusting after you? Even if you are my woman, I should still lust after you.
Absolutely. That's a good
And
point.
see, that's the thing. We place all of these connotations on words when it's really just a basic definition. Lust is simply, I would look up the definition, but I don't want to move my hand and move my phone too much.
Right, right.
But
Please
it's
go.
essentially, it's essentially, looking for sexual pleasure, which of course you're going to look for. That's any human. But I do believe that she's saying lust in the case of where it oversaturates and take over all the other emotions, and it's just that, which I can agree with. The only thing is we still have to let her know that if that's the type of man she's dealing with, that's still the type of man she chose.
Absolutely. And she's saying no more of that. But
There's
what do
plenty
you
of men
think?
out there.
Yes, there are plenty. Speak, oh, DK, don't give up. There are plenty of good men out there. I agree
There
with
are.
you. Now, what do you think about Steve Harvey's comment? He wrote in his book, what was it? Think like a lady, act like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he wrote in there, don't be so quick to have sex with your date your partner. Get to know him for the first 90 days. What do you think about that?
Um, I think sex has to be organic, and I think putting it on a time frame is making it very inorganic and making it very business-like. It's like a transaction. This is going to happen in 90 days. You'll get full insurance coverage, your dental benefits, and all that. It sounds very transactional. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how he made it. He was like, you work at the Ford Motor Company, you don't get any benefits for 90 days.
Right,
Cool,
right.
but you ain't paying me. This is strictly based off of how we feel about each other. It's not on
Yeah,
that other level of payment. So I understand the scenario and the analogy. I
yeah.
just don't feel like it's true to size for the situation.
Right. Well, that's interesting because John Johnson, thank you for joining us, John. He says lust is the fire and passion. Women just don't want to be seen as sex objects. And a lot of times we don't, but a lot of us have sex the first week of dating, and then we cry about lust and I can't believe he's treating me like this. But I believe opening up too early in a new relationship, it creates it creates everything but the relationship that a woman wants to begin with.
I can give
So
you that.
I think the timing is necessary to take your time so that you can you can get to know this person a little bit better, whether or not you really want them in your life in the first place. That's
I
what I
don't.
think.
I don't disagree. The again, it has to be organic. Because I mean, honestly, just as a woman knows a man knows he wants to be physical with a woman, she knows she wants to be physical with him. Um,
True.
it, I think the problem lies in when both parties feel as though they are ready. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, 9 times out of 10 is the man is going to initiate, the woman's either going to say yay or nay. And I
Right.
think what happens is the man may feel like the situation is ready, but that's only because a lady puts them in positions to where he can try to do that. So it's a confusing time. I'll say this though, I've I've slept with the woman on the first night and treated her like a queen. That that
Wow.
that has no bearing on it. That I've waited 90 days and couldn't stand a girl. It didn't, you know,
Right.
it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? None of that really matters if you rock it with somebody that you really rock with a day, a week, a month. I can tell you right now, if you're really feeling somebody, you're gonna be hard pressed to wait 90 days though. I can tell you that.
That's awesome. That's good. That's very I like that. So you agree though, it could be that you're going to be hard pressed that 90 days, and then that could be the kicker. You like this person, you respected this person wishes to wait 90 days, and then when it happens, fireworks.
Touche.
And then
The only thing is I want to know if women are okay, because if he is not, we have to assume that everybody is already dealing with the sexual partner.
mhm.
So if you're not giving it up in 90 days, you have to be okay with the possibility of him going somewhere and getting it within that 90-day window.
Yeah, I've heard that. You've said that to me before.
That's just the truth in it. That's cool. We can wait your 90 days. Just know that it'll be you waiting 90 days and not me.
Oh,
You
got
know?
it.
So that's
Got
fine.
it.
There's a loophole in every rule. You're gonna make me wait 90 days? Okay. That's why I got these eggs in the basket. Because you won't let it happen organically. You got me on a time frame. And I'm not saying you gotta sleep with me within a week. But what you do gotta do is be interested long enough for me to want to still sleep with you after that long.
Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that you're going to wait those 90 days.
It don't.
Right. You'll just
That's in
be there.
anybody's case.
Got it. Got it. So John Johnson adds relationships take two people, but why build a relationship if sex is trash relationship? It's going to fail anyway, so get it out the way. Okay, John Johnson. Come on now. Get it out of the way when? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And then John adds, John Clement, my BFF who connected us. John, thank you for the connection. Facts and more facts. Okay, so that means he agrees with John Johnson. Get it out of the way. Oh my gosh,
Indubitably.
you guys. And you see how differently we think? Because
Right.
we were taught that if we get it out of the way too soon, you guys are going to disrespect us.
That was because the basic, well, I'll say classic values have always taught women that their vagina is special, sacred, and to be placed on a pedestal. But
Yes.
somewhere along the way in the new age, in the new era, the market has been flooded with women who understand that men can go and get it anywhere. So
Right.
just that I think women need to understand what bracket they're placing themselves in when they place these types of constraints on them.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying. Like, as if you're gonna make a decision to follow any set of rule or code, then you have to understand the type of things that are gonna come with that situation.
Okay. So, Rashaud, tell me something. What is your what is your definition for a woman being de-whipped?
Uh, Um, hard to say. Because women put up with a lot, and it's not necessarily always just for the D. So it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to say a woman that if she's de-whipped, money whipped, actually whipped. You know, it's really hard to say what fosters that. But I will say that good having a woman, what we call it, is sprung, um,
Yes.
does give a guy a lot of leeway to do what he wants.
Wow.
It does, because you know that if they enjoy it to that magnitude, then there's really not a lot you can do to mess that up. It's very few deal breakers if you can do it well.
Wow.
The
And
same goes
men,
for ladies.
I was going to ask you that next, but you're saying so men know that they have that control over a woman in their lives,
Not
of their
not
life.
Yeah, but not based on the sexual experience, based on your actions and the way you react afterwards. Now,
Wow.
we of course, because I mean, you would never really know how far their mind is during the act. It would all come out in all the actions and the interaction between you two afterwards, and then from there you know. Hey, now if you're not doing any crazy stuff on the sides, you would never really know anyway. But if, let's say, they find out you were still talking or dealing with somebody else, and they don't leave, then you know at that point, then they're not going to leave if you're dealing with somebody else.
Wow. Okay. So on the other side of that, how do you know, how does a man know when she's got it going on? He's definitely pee whipped.
Uh, it's a lot of that. Um, Hard to say though, because there's different versions. Because he can be pee whipped and he ain't got nothing to spoil it with. So it's hard to say. Well, put it to you like, because you know what? It's a lot of guys that's not pee whipped. They're pee deprived. What happens
Oh,
is they're not really the guys we call pussy whip aren't really pussy whip. What they are is, I'm sorry, they
that's
would
okay. That's okay. This is our tonight. I asked for mature audiences. Go
okay.
ahead.
That what they are is they're sex deprived. So what it is they want to be on their best behavior at all times to make sure that they can possibly get some. So I don't know many p whip dudes. I know a lot of p deprived dudes who fit the bill for pussy whip.
Okay. So back to the D whippers, they know that they have that person under their spell.
After a certain amount of encounters, yeah, you know, just like a woman knows.
Wow. Wow. So what can we do as women to finally get what we want in a relationship? I mean, just keep it real, keep it raw. Let us know what it is that's holding us back that can get us going forward if we just listen to you.
Um, well, I know that we have some people of faith, so I do want to say that shared faith is not instant compatibility. So
Mm.
just because you share the same belief system doesn't automatically mean that person is right for you. And just because they don't follow the same belief system doesn't mean they're wrong for you. So a belief system is not instant compatibility. And I think a lot of people get lost in that. I want to, and I get what you're saying. I get what a lot of people say about unequally yoked, but there's a lot more to do with unequally yoked than just your beliefs.
Like what?
Like your ambitions, like your like your credit score. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that you need to be equally yoked on outside of your religious beliefs.
That's very true. That's very true. John Johnson says men know it and the women know it too. In a relationship, each person always knows who is
Who
in
is in control?
control. Now,
Yes.
now that's another good point. We need to go back to that other question in a minute, but why is it one of us need to be in control? What is it, is that what a relationship is about? The man has to be in control or the woman has, why can't they both be in sync as a partnership? Is
No
that
partnership.
possible?
No real partnership is really 50-50, because if it was 50-50, nothing would happen. Because
Okay.
let's say you were shareholding the company and you 50-50 and you butt heads on it. You're now essentially at what we would call a government shutdown, right? So you 50-50 leaves you nothing. Somebody has to take the lead to be able to say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and someone has to be the person to concede. Now, we're not saying that you have to be the person to concede in every situation, because if I'm horrible with finances, I'll give you the money to pay the bills. But the
Right.
thing is as the leader, I'm delegating that responsibility of bills to you. So what the thing is, you have to be okay with me delegating to you what you're good at. Not just because you feel like you do it better than me. You have to be okay with being delegated, because essentially, if you're looking for a leader, then that comes with that delegation. You have to be willing to be delegated to.
So, as John says, oh, John Johnson says, women need
Women
to
need to
submit.
submit.
See, every time I hear that word, John, I'm ready to slap somebody. But
Okay.
I agree. I agree. But again, you all have to understand, women have been the man and the woman so long. And I know I'm trying to get y'all to have some compassion for us right now, but y'all got to understand it is so hard to turn that off. But with a willing partner, we will work on that, because you're absolutely right. And you laid it out the way it should be laid out, Rashaud. We need to be delegated to. We have to wait for those instructions, that guidance, and we don't know how to do that. So give us some advice how to do that, because we are strong women are running good men away because they don't know how to be submissive without using that word.
Without using submissive.
Yeah, don't use that
um,
word, because I'm about to hang up on all y'all just because you said submissive. Don't use that word.
but and I hate that it's been taken with such bad connotation, because it never was really meant to have that bad connotation in the first place. It's essentially nothing more than an than a give and take. If I'm the leader, then someone has to submit it.
Yes, that's so true.
I hear you. I hear your point about women having to play both roles for so long.
Yes,
The question is why are they not so ready to give up that? Why are they not so?
absolutely.
If they've had to do that so long and it's been such a weight, shouldn't it be a beacon to them to see a man who's willing to come along and be a leader?
Right. That is so true. We need to surrender that role. That's a good point. And John says, no, they haven't. They have been on the women that they've been pretending to be the men. No, no, sweetheart. I never wanted to pretend to be a man. I got left with 4 kids in different situations. No, they didn't leave me. I closed the door, and I paid dearly for that. I had to raise these children to be who they are today, thank God. So when you're being a mama and a daddy as a default, because they haven't come back to raise their children. When you divorce them, they divorce the children. Then you're stuck with all of the responsibilities that go with that. So I don't mind surrendering. I don't mind that, but I want to make it known that let me get acclimated to it. I just can't do it overnight. And don't put up the sign, woman, surrender to me, like a caveman. Just keep it like Rashaud just said it. We gotta give us time, work with a sister, understand her pain, understand she can surrender, but it's gonna take a gradual process.
The
And
only thing
today,
is the women the women that women frown upon, they
yeah.
submit instantly. So
Oh,
you have to understand that a lot of women like it's a lot of women that are like always promiscuous women always winning. It's always the hoes that get the ring. Well, you have to understand because they've learned the art of submission. They submit off
yes.
top. So that's why they still get love regardless of their past, regardless of their shady history with men, because they submit. Period. That is gold.
Wow.
Submission is gold. You can pave the way to heaven with submission.
That is so true. Jackie, my girlfriend of over 20 plus years, she says, hey, Jackie, I don't think a woman has a problem being submissive if it's with the right man, meaning he is being a man and not acting like a jealous boy. Ooh, what you got to say about that one?
Well, I mean, the thing is different strokes for different folks. I know some women who love jealous men.
Ooh,
It makes them feel wanted. They love a jealous man. So, like I say, it's different strokes for different folks. That's why she's right. It has to be the right man because if she's looking for someone that's not jealous, then she's gonna need to find someone who doesn't have a jealous bone in them. That's just something that's gonna have to be a part of them.
interesting.
Some women
Okay.
love jealous men.
Okay, I think jealousy is dangerous. So I don't want somebody that's jealous. I would like somebody who does recognize, hey, I saw him looking at you, but I'm walking with you. Okay, you can make that acknowledgement, but don't cuss
Right.
me out in the evening when we get back home because you saw two or three guys checking me out. Don't get mad at me. And that's
Right.
the jealousy that women do not want, but they do appreciate a man acknowledging that the man in your life acknowledging that, hey, I saw somebody looking at you, did you see that? And but
Right.
I'm going home with you. But
Right.
John Johnson says a woman has to submit willingly. We can't ask for it. Y'all have to volunteer. Okay, John,
That's a
we're
very
gonna
valid
work on
point.
your diplomacy. But I agree. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Okay, we have to volunteer. We have to be willing. I agree. And Jackie said that's low self-esteem. No, I don't think not if we're surrendering correctly. And I think it's okay to surrender to the right man. John says high self-esteem won't keep you warm at night. Oh my, yeah, that's right. That's why we
You're
all
right.
lonely. We got this high self-esteem. We done worked our tails off. We done raised successful kids. I got my girlfriend Jackie. Her daughter is a movie star, and she's single. I'm single. I got a registered nurse that I done raised, and a daughter HR specialist. My son basketball coach. Okay, yeah, we got high self-esteem. But why can't we relate? Why can't we be with a high esteemed man who appreciates us for who we are? Well, come help
You
me with that. Because
because
I don't want to be lonely at night.
it's understood. The only thing is I don't think it's correct to equate because I think she's saying low self esteem when I was speaking to the ladies who may be promiscuous who still know how to submit instantly, right? I think that's what she was saying in regards to low
Okay,
self esteem.
okay. The ones
Um,
that the sexual women, they got it
right,
going on and know how to submit. Okay, I
right.
got that.
So
Okay.
I don't think that's fair to call that low self esteem. It essentially just equates to a different set of values, a different
Mm-hmm.
set of lifestyle. It doesn't necessarily mean she has low self esteem. It just means that she doesn't choose. She chooses to be a little bit more freer with her body than you do, and it actually is garnering her some results, which happens.
Right. And I've seen that a lot of where you see this woman with the awesome body, looks like she's real sexual, and the man seems to be very accommodating to her. So I presume based on what you're saying that she's been submissive to the extent where she got him. They're now married and he looks happy. He got a nice little silly grin on his face, and I'm sitting here with my high self esteem, and I'm not with anybody. So I mean I mean
But who's to say that that woman who's free doesn't have high self esteem?
that's a good point.
Who's to say that simply because she doesn't lead a life of a life of a more sexually civil life, I should say, that she has low self esteem. No, she could think she's worth a million trillion bucks. She's just
Interesting.
freer. It doesn't. I don't think her sexual proclivities have anything to do with her esteem.
Got it. Okay. So Dennis says women bring beauty in the game of love for attraction. Beauty will lure all kinds of attention in so many ways. Men will search for all beauty like a child hungers for candy. It never ends. Women must realize when flaunting their beauty, they must be careful in what they attract in their web. Hmm.
Touche. Spiderweb catch a lot of stuff it wasn't trying to eat.
So with that, now I'm really confused. What do we do with beauty? if we want to connect with that awesome man, how do we connect it? Okay, I'll just be raw with it. How do we lure their attention to us as strong Black women?
Well, see, the thing is your attractiveness is gonna pull them in initially. So you just being your attractive self will pull someone's attention to you. The key is holding it. Um, the key is really holding the attention, because you're gonna garner all type of attention when dudes see you. That's a given. It's in our nature to look at you and appreciate you for your beauty. But the thing is how are you gonna hold that attention? And you know how the free women hold that attention?
I'm listening.
They hold it with the P. The women that are free with
Wow.
themselves, they hold that attention with the P. Now, that's not saying that anything's going to become of this situation where she just gave him the P. But what she did do was she locked in his attention.
Okay,
He
so
now she now has his attention.
she gave him the beauty, and then she locked in the P, and then she locked in communications, and then she didn't nag him, because I ain't gonna never forget that one. Because women do have a tendency to treat their men like their sons.
They
You didn't
do.
pick up your socks. I told you to take out the trash. How many times? That's not fair. I cooked for you. Why can't you take out the trash?
Now, mind you, if a lot of women want me to pay the majority of the bills. So if I want to leave my socks in the middle of the living room floor, guess where they're gonna be?
Wow. That's
That's where they're gonna
deep.
be. That's the thing, though. If I'm coming in and I'm taking care of if I'm taking care of more than my share of what you consider to be a healthy portion, then what is the point of nagging? What value does the nagging hold? What are you trying to accomplish?
Right. So you agree with John, I'm sure. Hold the balls, hold the bell. Really, John? I'm gonna have to work with you. I'm gonna have to give you some rules before you come back on.
That's
Oh
my
my
partner.
gosh.
He's part of my podcast. He's
Oh, I
he's
can
actually
tell. I can tell. Oh my gosh. And then my girl says that goes both ways, John.
touche.
Okay. All right. So on that note, because you and I can go on hours and hours at a time. I appreciate you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, what taken away from this, if a woman just got on live tonight with us, what advice would you give her to connecting with the right man and just keeping it real with her? And then I want you to do the same with a man that's look, because men are hurt too. Men are broken. They've been out there, they've tried to do it the right way, and they've failed at it. So start with the women as always, and then if you can give advice, word of advice to the men to who are also looking to have a relationship with a good woman.
Um, for the women, stop chasing the ladies men and expecting different results for you. Stop
Mm.
expecting to change a man. Change doesn't come from outside; it comes from within. So when he's ready to change, he will do so. And if you can see that he's not changing for within your specified time frame, then it is your duty to leave or stay.
Wow, that's deep.
For the men, really be patient. Be patient in a lot of stuff, because I do know as a man that sometimes I can get a bit overzealous for the P. Just being honest about it, a lot of men can become overzealous for the P, which puts us in situations where we got the P and we really don't want anything else to do with it. I say be a little bit more patient and be a little bit more studious and getting to know her. Now, if you out here just trying to do what you do, then do that. But if you legitimately trying to look for a mate, then be studious in finding out about the person. Be studious in getting to know about the person, and make sure that they genuinely make you smile and they ain't just giving you a steady piece of butt.
Oh, okay. We got a little disagreement here. John says women don't want strong men because then they lose the power to control them. And then Jackie says, not true, John. That's what men think. And then John comes back and said, men are so broken. If y'all would just give us unlimited sex, y'all would fix us broken men. Oh my gosh, John. If we gave you unlimited sex, it will cloud your judgment even more. Come on, y'all.
He said unlimited.
That is so. And then Jackie says, I don't want to control my man because those are punks. Oh my gosh. These are two strong people. We need to add them on next time because,
Definitely.
yes, because they're obviously thinking on two different levels. But I do agree that we as women do want to be in love. We strong women do want to be in love, and we could work on our submissiveness. That is very hard to relinquish authority over our lives to someone else because we've had to do so much on our own. But I believe we're willing, and we know what we need to work on as women. And I think we can do that. And for the men, the poor souls that are actually out there looking for love, you're right. They need to be more patient and don't give up because there are women out there who are looking for the same thing. What I don't understand is why the good women are not finding those actual men. They're
Because
looking, they're seeing the players. They're seeing
they
those that are not ready to settle down. Why aren't they bumping into those good men?
because in when you're in the because a lot of successful black women are in the upper echelon of their career, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
brushing shoulders with the who's or people who are on their level. Now, a career woman who's made it to the top of her job or her field or whatever, she's only gonna bump into men who's top of their line or top of their career field as well. Those men are in rare supply. So when you move, when women are that far up the chain, unfortunately, their choices dwindle because they're not going to date down. So
Mm.
the thing is when you're that high up on the chain, you have to understand that high up on the chain, all of those men already have eyes on them.
Wow. So we need to dumb it down?
I'm not saying dumb it down, but it is okay to date down as far as because what it is a lot of women is that are career minded won't date down salary wise. A man can have a head on his shoulders. He can be able to actually converse with her and keep her interested. But if his salary bracket ain't where hers at, she probably not going to give him the time of day because he doesn't seem like the type that can play the classical role of providing for her. So she's going to dismiss him.
So that's we should not dismiss those men, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, I'm definitely not saying go find you an unemployed dude who play PlayStation
Right.
and
I
smoke
got
trees
you.
all day. But I am saying that a man who is genuinely on his grind and about his purpose and is providing for himself already, then I'm pretty sure he can do with providing for you in some sort certain scope. The thing is don't frown up on a man who makes less money than you because he may be able to make you happier than a man with a bigger check.
Interesting. And John pretty much added to what you just said. Women date up and men date down.
Right. Simply because a lot of women, look for the provider aspect. So in order for me to be a provider for you, I have to be a bracket above you. Well, not as necessarily, but mathematically speaking, it would be a lot easier for me to be a provider if I'm a tax bracket above you.
Got it. That is so true. Jackie disagrees that she says she's dated down. So
She
you're
says she's.
recommending that we should consider that.
But see, the thing is dating up or dating down still has you still run into shady character on either side. So just because
Oh,
the thing is you can date up or date down. It don't change a shady man. A shady man is a shady man.
whether he's up or down,
Choose better men.
or unemployed.
Right. Choose
Because
better men.
yes, I agree. Dennis says, as I said, we all go through the maze of love until we find that door, meaning we will encounter so many wrong doors before you get it right, if ever. Choice, learning to take your time. Life is so short to find a life commitment with the one you are meant to be with in your journey in love. And John says, generally true, they always want someone on their level or higher. Men will take a lower woman that is willing to submit and elevate her. Mm,
Pretty
elevate
woman,
her.
the pretty woman story, you know.
Yes, the pretty woman syndrome. Fix her. He's okay with fixing a woman, but he he's
He's not
okay with
okay with
fixing a
fixing a.
woman.
But the thing is if in order for a man to fix a woman, guess what she has to do? And I hate saying fix because nobody can fix anyone. I'll say elevate.
Okay.
She has to submit. She has to step onto the elevator. He can't kidnap her and bring her on the elevator. She got to step on it with him.
Right. So we do that all the time. We elevate our men.
Do we? In what way?
We fix them.
Do we? Well, it
We
doesn't
help.
seem.
We'll help a brother get a good job.
Is that fixing him though? Because the thing is you can do all of these things that are that are external. You can try to improve, things, his actions and everything else. But unless he's trying to improve himself, you didn't fix anything. Same for women. We have to stop thinking that we fix someone because essentially that's a decision that they make on themselves to change their lives. So I think we have to stop going into it looking to fix someone. And if I so happen to help them and elevate them, then so be it. But my purpose here is not to fix. My purpose here is to enjoy. We got to stop fixing and start enjoying.
I love that. Stop fixing and enjoying as they are today. That
Facts.
makes a lot of sense. Um, oh gosh. Trying to close with you, but our comments are getting so engaging. Jackie says, I took a guy and brought him from a lower level in his career up 3 grades in federal government, and he still didn't get it. So what do you say to that?
Well, when she says he didn't get it, or she's saying that he wasn't able to, lock down and keep that position that she had garnered for him, or
No, he
he
didn't
didn't get
appreciate.
that she elevated him.
Yeah, she didn't. He didn't appreciate the fact that she elevated him, and it didn't make him care more about her as a result of what she did for him.
Well, what she did was when she elevated him to another level, she also opened up another doors for new women.
Wow, that's just no good.
So,
That's
I mean,
not
the
even
thing is
right.
this, you could do the same thing. We do the same thing for women.
You're right.
It's that's what I'm saying. Like, no, there's no one side that doesn't do the same thing to the other. We have to stop saying that men do this, women do that. We all do the same thing.
That's true. Men do it to women all the time.
So you'll fix a woman up. She's now upgraded past what she was when she was dealing with you. Now she
Mhm.
got a whole new set of eyes on her. Maybe some eyes that may even be a better fit for her. Because a lot of people need to realize that there's always somebody better than you. It's just got to be
Wow,
their choice to stay with you. It's always somebody better. Always.
that
It's
is
a
so
billion
deep.
people.
You're so right. That's very deep. I appreciate that.
No problem.
You're the best. I am so glad I had you on tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
John Clemens, my graphics guy, my BFF. He is awesome. He recommended we get together. First, he asked me to get on your live. And he said, now I want to tell you they're raw. You may not like everything you're hearing. And I got on and I was cringing a lot. But then I asked you, well, why how come that man was mad at me that I danced with all night because I didn't give him my phone number? And you said, well, he was feeling me. And here I am saying bye. And he was like, where are you going? We just started. We just connected. We just bonded. So
Mm-hmm.
you taught me because I didn't realize that. And that will always haunt me when I'm dancing somewhere. That if somebody is engaged with your movement and you all are on the dance floor all night, of course they're interested in you. Of
Definitely.
course they have an expectation of you. I didn't realize that. And that's why I wanted you and I to discuss these topics with these people because we really don't know what you all think. You all don't know what we think. And we need to have a lot of these engagements to finally get it right, to
Yep.
understand we don't have all the answers and you all don't have all the answers. But when we put our heads together, we have a better opportunity to understand one another and be in a better position to love because
Mm-hmm.
we now understand you.
Right.
And that's why this conversation tonight was so important. And I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for all your listeners. Thank you for your raw, Mr. Johnson, because he kept it real. Thank you, Jackie, for your insight. You guys got to come back again. We got to do this if you would agree, quarterly, and maybe I'm gonna see how I can get you on the radio station,
Okay.
because you're good and you keep it
Thank you.
real. And we need you. Women need to hear it from you because you're keeping it real. You're talking to other men, they're telling you their experiences, and we need to know this stuff to get it right because
Touche.
we're really trying.
Mm-hmm.
But we think because we got it good in the workplace that it should automatically uh, help us
Translate over.
in our, yeah, translate over into our personal life. And there, like you said, day one, the first part of our conversation, you said is apples and oranges.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we need to recognize that. So I want to thank you so much. You guys, he has a podcast too. Y'all need to chime in. Y'all need to listen to it. What's your podcast again?
It's called Indubitably. We come on every Sunday at 9 p.m. You can just come to my page and it'll post there every Sunday at 9 p.m.
Awesome. We will definitely be there to listen to it. I thank you so much. If you guys can do the same, mine is Barbie's Real Talk. It's wherever podcasts are offered. Thank you so much, Rashaud, for being here
Yes, ma'am.
tonight. You guys, this is Rashaud Cleveland. Look him up. All you women that are looking to date, listen to what they're saying because they're keeping it real and they're giving you advice of what we're doing wrong, what we need to do right to finally get it right. And I'm gonna be
Yes,
the
ma'am.
first. You coming to my wedding. I'm gonna invite you
Okay.
to my wedding. I'm gonna fly you to my wedding, okay?
I'm in
You
there.
yes, because you have no idea we are locked in. So I thank you so much with your
Yes,
handsome
ma'am.
self. I would
Thank
flip you my phone number, but I ain't trying to be your cougar, okay? But
you.
because I said when you were telling me what you're looking for in a woman, I said, I can communicate with him. Shoot, I can
Say I got all
communicate. I could probably even pee whip him. I got experience. And then I thought about it,
that.
girl. He ain't trying to get no cougar. But I love you and I appreciate you so much. Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am. I
thank you,
thank you for
thank you
having
for
me on.
being here.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
until the next time, okay?
Indubitably. You
All
have a good
right,
night.
you guys, please share this with all your single friends, for all your married friends that are going through some trouble. Send it to everybody and let me know what you think, and I'll make sure we share one. Thank you. Love you. See y'all later. Bye until next time. I'm still a rose in spite of it all. Good night.